All
And I
right.
like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Justin LaGrange, thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live idea. I don't know how this is going to go with you doing the announcements with you every week. It's kind of like, oh crap, what is he going to say? What is he going to do? I've got my wife sitting in the front row, always, always, always laughing about everything. So it's pretty good, pretty good. So while people are starting to log in, how was your day, by the way, just from the very beginning?
It was a day. It was a day, man.
Okay.
I'm actually at work, so that's that's one of those catch-22 kind of things. But yeah, it was if my voice sounds tired, it's because I've literally been on the phone all day.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah,
it's all good. All right, so
how was your day? How was your day?
Well, let me
Really?
pause. Don't say anything.
It's a day. It's a day.
Okay.
Man. I'm actually at work, so that's one of those catch-22 kind of things.
So you see here,
but yeah, if my voice tired,
all right, so I just
literally been on the phone all day.
All right, so yeah, my day.
Yeah,
it's all good.
it's all good.
All right, so
How was your day?
there we go. Okay, now.
Typical of me. I just never do.
Yeah, so my day was good. I was preparing the sermon for one, getting announcements ready, and we're working on this Meet a Neighbor initiative, which basically is going crazily awesome. So I'm excited about those who are partnering with us with it. So it's really, really cool. So all right. So if you're watching, just comment, I'm here, and then Justin and I will
or just
start.
one here, just an I'm here. You don't hog the bandwidth.
that might work too. So this is here's the rule, Justin. We will talk about anything. You have a couple things that are on your mind. We have exactly 30 minutes. So this is a 30-minute only conversation. You like to talk. I love to talk. So that will keep us in line. Yes, Justin. Yes, absolutely. Hopefully your audio is still working, or is that like a fake?
That was
okay,
I mimed it. I just mimed it. Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm starting the countdown right now. So we are right at 30 minutes. So far we have Abe is here. So just to say hi to Abe.
Hey, what's up, Abe? How you doing, buddy?
All right. So yeah, Justin, so we got 30 minutes starting from right now. So what do you personally think about the craziness of this virus? What have you seen anything? Are you one of these that freak out? Are you one of these that like, I'm carrying on my normal day? Do you have a spiritual approach? I mean, what are your thoughts about this crazy virus that we have?
Yes.
Ta-da.
Blanket.
Everything.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, man, it's funny because I was actually having this conversation with my oldest brother Friday, I guess it was. But personally, it's one of those where you think of how things affect you. You think of how you personally are affected by things.
Mm-hmm.
And, if there's a wildfire out in California or something like that, it's like, oh man, that stinks. That just stinks to be out there. And like, for me, it's dude, we live in the Midwest. There's something to be living in an area where nothing happens. And people all the time are like, I hate this area. It's so boring. Nothing ever happens here. But at the same time, we have kind of developed this mentality of, oh, dude, I'm so glad I don't live in California. Or, boy, I'm so glad I don't live in New York. Because that's where all the disaster movies take place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's just weird whenever it really is in your backyard that you're feeling the effects of something that is a global pandemic, a global situation that you're feeling locally. And a lot of people are kind of feeling that for the first time.
Yeah,
it's surreal.
It really is.
I mean, it's just kind of surreal.
And that's an interesting thought because I don't have that perspective of a hometown thing. I grew up overseas. I grew up wandering the world, literally. So I have a blessing and a curse to have a global perspective. So when I hear of persecution, when I hear about sickness, when I hear about all of that, it's like, oh, I understand it. I can relate to it. But those who are in this little bubble, you're exactly right. So, or were you in a little bubble? I mean, were you?
Oh, good gravy! I grew up in Jasper, Indiana.
So your bubble was even smaller.
I was the Bubble Boy. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I have seen the Bubble Boy. Yes. If you're watching,
John Travolta and Jake Gyllenhaal versions,
if you're watching, have you seen the Bubble Boy? If that would be an interesting Netflix or whatever, wherever it's on. So if you comment below if you have seen Bubble Boy. All right, so go ahead.
It's been a while, so I don't know if it's kid friendly.
Oh yeah, Justin, that's so funny. We watched, what was it, Rachel, that we watched? The Goonies. We watched The Goonies. And family friendly. We put in the DVD, and all of a sudden, within 5 minutes, this guy is holding up this guy with his thing, the statue with his thing cut off. And I'm like, oh, okay, children friendly, not so much.
Yes.
So you're exactly right. So
that's the best part.
We have to preface that if the Bubble Boy is bad, it's Justin's idea, not mine. Okay, so go ahead. All right,
I'll take it. All right,
yeah,
but I tell you what, though, the funny thing is, again, growing up in Jasper, which was it's gotten a little bit more cultured over the past 15, 20 years since I left, but at the same time, I went to community college in Jasper. Okay, so I was one of those sign me up for the first train out of this place, kind of people. But I really had no idea what I wanted to do. So we have a community college in Jasper, and
all right. So I'm going to pause you. I'm going to ask you that. So keep on in a second.
Yeah.
I cannot relate to that, but why did you want to get out of Jasper? Why did you want to get out of the city like that? Why?
It just wasn't for me. It was one of those things where I felt like I what I wanted to do wasn't something that was a celebrated thing there.
Okay.
Like if you played basketball, if you were a star in some sort of sporting event, you were set. And I was very athletic. I loved, playing. But I knew I wasn't going to be an NBA star. Wasn't an ambition of mine. So it was like, well, what's the point? So much like me now, I liked to have fun with things, and I didn't take it very seriously. So of course I got cut, whenever it came down to high school basketball. But playing guitar and writing poetry and stuff like that was never anything anybody did that was, seen as legit. I was like, oh, that's nice.
But nowadays, actually, you would be one of the most popular kids in the school.
Maybe, but I don't know. But
all right, go ahead.
But at the same token, though, I really was. I need to get the heck out of here. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went to community college. But while I was there, stuck, while all my friends basically moved away, I was forced to dig. And I was forced to look into, okay, I know I can't stand this place. What is here that I have missed? What is here that is something that I could potentially miss because I enjoy it? Because of all these things going away, what is it that I'm able to pursue here that I can feel fulfilled? And I feel like a lot of people are doing that now, is they're actually examining their own backyard. They're examining their own homes, their own passions, their own hobby they didn't know they actually enjoyed doing, cooking, making stuff out of glue and popsicle sticks, but it's also you get families that are going, oh my gosh, oh yeah, I have a wife and I have kids. I forgot about them. It's a catch-22 whenever you're forced to dig.
Yeah.
And you're forced to find something.
Did you find anything? I mean, what was something that you found when you?
I haven't been quarantined.
So it's back in college. You try to find yourself what you're missing. Then we'll fast forward. Did you find anything back in college? What you're missing?
Yeah, I think honestly, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't like I had any real success with anything, but it was more of I think I kind of found like a drive for, if it doesn't exist, create it.
Nice.
You
That's
know,
good. Very nice.
that kind of thing.
Nice.
And yeah, there was a little theater that was in town that was a rundown movie theater. And I knew the guy that owned it, and it had been for sale for like 10 years. And my senior year, actually first year out, I guess, of high school, I went to the guy and I was like, "Do you ever think about having like a concert or letting anybody play in there?" And he was like, "No, not really." And so, yeah, I was like the first person to ever play there. And now, like, I went to the city and everything, and I was like, you know, the city should act on this. This could be a really cool venue. Flash forward 15 or 16 years, and the city got the building, and they turned it into this really cool music venue.
Really? Oh, my
and
gracious.
it's like just an awesome concert space. But I was just too far ahead of my time.
Yeah.
That's all.
So with this virus, what do you think from what you're hearing? So you have an advantage and disadvantage. The advantage you have is you're still working, so that's an advantage.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is you don't have this isolation that other people have. And I'll be talking this Sunday on the topic, and I want to get your perspective on this in a second. But it's called isolated pain. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So isolated pain, topic of Sunday morning, 9 a.m. So what do you think people are thinking from your perspective about this virus?
Well, it's almost like there's three different categories. Okay. There are the people who are freaked out beyond all reason, and they're, oddly enough, they're not the ones going out and buying up all the toilet paper. They're the ones that are upset because they can't find it.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
But they're also the people that are just not wanting to touch anything, not wanting to, whatever, and they're glued to the news. And that is their life. It's become consuming is basically it. That is their life now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is almost a prison cell,
Well said.
But
well said.
There are then the people that are like, "Oh, it's not real. That's not a real thing. It's not a real thing."
Is that what they sound like?
What?
Is that what they sound like?
Yeah. This is a ploy by the government to whatever, And then there are the people that are right in the middle that are like, okay, yes, maybe, and then yes, maybe, but out of caution, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna wash my hands like they tell me I should. And by they, I mean my parents back when I was 3. It's not a new concept. It's not a new concept. You go out to the grocery store and you're pushing around a cart that everybody else's boogery fingers have been getting lunch meat and raw fish and putting it on. Go wash your hands whenever you get home. Gosh. But
I hope this is going to teach people, because whenever I leave the hospital, I mean literally, I put that hand sanitizer all over my body. It's terrible. I mean, I'm bad.
That's what allows you to keep coming back to the hospital.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Not as a one with a room number though.
Well, yeah. So where do you lie? 1, 2, or 1, 2, or middle?
I'm middle. I'm middle. Honestly, I know it's a real thing because, again, was speaking with my brother. That was an interesting conversation.
Now tell us about your brother. He used to be a pastor, and
and is still as much a man of God as he's ever been. Just felt called to do something else, which is awesome. Still in ministry, just just a different label for what you'd say pastor. Mm-hmm. Some of the best teachers in life that I've ever had have never set foot in a classroom before.
Absolutely, well said.
But so their neighbor, who is young, she's young. I say young. I feel young, like my age, a little younger.
How old are you?
And then she got diagnosed with it. And
by the way, while you guys are listening, comment below. Go ahead and
how old do you think?
Yeah, don't say that. Don't tell us. Comment below to see how old you think Justin is. All right, just put it there while he keeps talking. All right, go, neighbor, go.
This is gonna hurt.
The young neighbor, go.
Yeah, the super duper young neighbor who gets carded for everything. Yeah, no, she got diagnosed with it. She tested positive.
Really?
And they're,
Wow.
I mean, they're interactive with them. She had mild sickness, that kind of a thing compared to what you see other people have. And she's making her recovery. Her husband's okay. He has not tested positive yet, or will maybe. On the other hand, a couple people that my brother and a couple of his friends, in the same circle there, went on a conference to Atlanta a month ago, and two of the older guys that were at the same conference are literally fighting for their lives right now.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And so it's like, I know it's this, but I also know for a fact it's this.
Yeah.
I know for a fact. So that's why I'm here, And so, yeah, you take precautions, in the meantime, dig into your own backyard and see what you can find there that you could enjoy possibly later on after this is all over with. There's so many positives with it. Just be cautious.
Yep. Absolutely.
Be reasonable.
So what do you think? So I preach on Sunday, and by the way, if you have not watched it, I encourage Justin to watch the sermon because he didn't watch it live. He did. So I'm proud of you, Justin. All right. So my perspective of where I think possibly God is. What is there's so many views out there. We're not God. So what are your perception of why this virus exists?
Well, I compare everything to 9/11 because that was the biggest event that happened during my lifetime before this. And it really is. It's that Mr. Rogers thing, man. It's the whole, my mom would always say, look for the helpers, and it took something that giant to just for a moment, just for an instant, even if it was just for an instant, every single person in this country was a human being, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Everybody was just a human being. No, there was no black, no white. There was no old, young. There was no gender, anything. It was simply, you were a human being, and let's all take a moment to realize our humanity.
Absolutely.
And to help it out.
Absolutely. Well said.
And it's sad that sometimes it takes a funeral to get a family together. But and that, I've been to some funerals that's the equivalent of 9/11 for certain families. The person was that huge in their life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And so that's where kind of I'm at, is sometimes it takes a giant turn off. This is basically God telling everybody, you know what? This is not what I had in mind. I need y'all to power down and power up. That's.
Now, how quickly do you think? So, say the statistics are looking the end of this month, it's going to taper down. So let's just say May, June. How quickly, in your opinion, do you think people will power back up, or will they?
I think some obviously never will. Some just never will. It's the people that live in their own heads. That's sad to say, but some just will take this to the extreme. And I don't know. I think once you see numbers, we're a statistics kind of a culture, and well, heck, we're a statistics world. But whenever you see the numbers go down, as far as deaths, as far as cases, as far as, hey, it looks like we kind of have this under control.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see a lot of polls that are out there that are, how safe do you feel going, and of course, because that always happens, and then everybody's going to kind of judge things on that.
Sure.
And then, so I don't know. I think it's probably going to be another month after it's all said and done. But I think you're just going to see this boom of people that are like, I'm going out.
Yeah.
Away.
I think the streets will be full, absolutely,
Oh,
100%.
yes, yes.
So Stephanie Humphrey said this: I think that God is allowing this virus to bring people together, like you said, Justin, and back to Him. What do you think about that? Anybody else comments? Why do you think that the virus exists? And by the way, Justin, we didn't get to this. Why did you categorize these Tuesday conversations Random Tuesdays?
Random Tuesdays are the best. They're the absolute best. No, honestly, Megan and I.
Who's Megan?
We had Megan, my wife.
Okay,
sorry,
just make sure.
For
okay.
all. She does exist, I promise. But yeah, I know. You've seen pictures. I'm sure you go, no, there's no way that guy landed that. Yes, he did. He married up. But no, we just we celebrate Random Tuesdays.
Okay.
And instead of it being a major holiday or a day of significance, to a Saturday is the day that everything happens. We tend to try to celebrate Random Tuesdays as being the best.
All right. All right, we're down to 11 minutes. So here we go. So do you think it's true? And anybody else want to comment why you think that this virus is here? Again, that God is bringing people back. God is bringing people back to Himself. Have you seen that? Have you seen people, and even in your life, have you seen it kind of be like, you know what? I need to get my crap together. I need to connect more with God, type of thing. I mean, what have you been noticing?
Repent.
Well, there you go.
I did watch it.
You did watch it. Good. All right.
Yeah. No. Me personally, I mean, yeah, I think it takes for some people, it takes a great event. It takes something that is just only God could make something so beautiful happen in my life to make them realize who He is.
Mm-hmm.
For other people, I think it takes something where it literally shakes them to their knees in order to realize God's power and
absolutely,
what Jesus is capable of. But I also think it's one of those deals where you look at how many relationships with fathers is it where the kid just talks to their father whenever they need something.
Mm-hmm.
And how many situations can you think of, even in your own, and not necessarily your own life or lives, whoever's watching, in their own whatever connection of people that they know, where they have that one guy whose kid calls them and they go, oh gosh, and they silence their phone because they know their kid's just calling because they want something, or maybe you are that father or that parent, and whenever it's stuff like this goes down, it's kind of you kind of see who the people are that only pray whenever they need something.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. That's 9/11, and as a pastor, 9/11 came, and it was like, oh man, this is the revival that we've been waiting for, and it lasted just a little bit. I mean, I really think that God just wants to slap the people of God. I mean, non-believers. He just wants them to come to know Him. But the reality is, it's going to come down to, are you really paying attention? Are you really focusing on it? And if you are, then repent and really turn. I mean, that's my heartbeat. And I keep saying that, but I mean that.
Well, and I don't think you're saying that because you're a pastor and you have to say that. I think that is truly something you believe. I feel like you're just one of those people who thoroughly believes that and sincerely wants the absolute best for everybody else.
I hope so.
And you break yourself over making darn sure that can happen, So I'm guilty of not hearing you sometimes on that. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
Huh?
What'd you say?
No, that's actually ironic. I'm just gonna have you go back and watch that later. True story.
Okay.
True story.
All right. Good. All right. So what are you? So what are you missing out of all this craziness? What is a couple of things that you would say? I'm just missing this.
Dismissing?
Missing. What are you missing? What are you missing out of all of this?
I mean, everybody loves that sense of normalcy, and they miss it whenever it's gone. I'm at the age where breaking even and uneventful are like two of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
And so, whenever you have something like this going on where it's kind of like driving, where it's not you that you're worried about, it's the other drivers, that's kind of my feeling on it. So I'm kind of missing being able to take my focus off the road.
Gotcha.
And just kind of. What about you? What do you?
I miss. I miss the
what
church.
Are you missing?
I miss the people. I miss hugs. I love hugs from my wife, of course, and my kiddos. My kids don't hug me anymore, but I love the hugs. I love the people. I mean, literally. I sometimes go to the church building to be there, and like, oh, nobody's here. Why am I even here? So that's what I miss the people. I really, really, really do. Because I could preach to an empty room. That's not the people. Literally the people. Yeah, I miss that for sure.
That shows.
Yeah. I might get more gray hairs. Yeah. So, all right, we're down to 6 minutes left, and we're going to honor everybody's. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. All right, so I want you to take a moment and just for anybody who's watching now and watching later, you are the most encouraging. So if you don't know this people, Justin randomly calls me and he texts me and he's like, man, you're doing great. Anything I can pray for you about? Anything you're doing? I'm like, man, he's got the gift of encouragement. So thank you for that, Justin. So you're down to 5 minutes left, and I would like for you to encourage those who are watching and soon to be watching about whatever's on your mind and heart.
Encouragement. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot to be said for this too shall pass. It's a thing. It's happening now. You can be affected by tiny things, and you can be affected by things that are just earth-shattering. And I feel like this is more on the earth-shattering side of things, and it's not necessarily the item itself. It's everything else that encompasses it. And I think whenever you really look at it, you look at Christ followers, and you look at the Christian world, Jesus is the main focal point of everything. He just is. But if you really look at the Bible, there's so much of this other stuff that's going on around it that makes Jesus the focal point. And that's a positive thing. That's the most positive thing you could possibly get. But at the same token, if you've got this white sheet of paper and this one black dot on it, your focus goes to the black dot every single time. Yeah, because it's the one, doesn't matter all this white that's on the paper, it's that one black dot that your eye is drawn to. And I think with the environment that we're in, with the culture that we're in, with just the situation that we're in, and everybody's in it. This is not just a thing where, it's that thing that's going on in some other country. It's here, and it's a part of us. I think instead of focusing on that one black dot, if we realize and really take the time to look at the rest of the sheet of paper, which is all of it, we can really see that this whole thing has got some great stuff that's happened because of it. Absolutely. There are people that have never set foot in a kitchen. They're making stuff now. They got kids saying, hey, Mom, can we do this more often? Instead of just getting Wendy's all the time. There's
and I think actually the funny thing is my son never cooks, and I think I walked in at the church building and my son was cooking. He was helping my wife cook. That was
case in point.
Absolutely. It was incredible. And I walked in, and it was just I was like shocked. So you're exactly right. I like that point about the black dot. That really, really, really is true. This black dot is a big black dot, but there's so much I agree with you that there's so much opportunity to love others, so much opportunity to look inside of ourselves, so much opportunity to decompress, so much opportunity.
Mm.
It just, it's for real. I mean, the black dot is legit.
It's taking the opportunity. That's the big thing.
Absolutely.
That's being able to take the opportunity.
Absolutely. 100%. So
instead of binge watching a show about some dude with tigers, that's all I've been hearing.
Yeah. I saw that on Netflix. I'm like, that looks like the cheesiest show in the world. And then I noticed that everybody's watching it. I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to watch a tiger show.
Only, there was a couple shows about stuff I believe in. Wait, there's tons. I don't know why that one gets all the attention, though. That's ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
All right, we're down to a minute and a half. Any last words? By the way, Justin, if I understand this correct, we're going to try to do this every Tuesday.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
As long as if people want that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we'll find out. There's a couple people that have tuned in. And
several that have just tuned out.
So mark it on Tuesday. If that works for you, ladies and gentlemen, this will be recorded so that you can watch it later on. And Justin and I are just going to choose some topics. And as you can tell, Justin is a character. We want to encourage you guys, but be serious at the same time. Find the difference between the extremities on both sides and literally just meet in the middle and talk about it and encourage each other through it. True that, Justin?
I like it.
All right. Sounds good. All right. You got 50 seconds left, and literally as soon as I hit 50 seconds, I'm pressing finish to honor your time, my time. So, all right. So, all right. So, Stephanie just said that she'll be here every Tuesday. Linda said that.
Blow it up.
By the way, whoever this person is, you need to go to the comments and I got 30 seconds. Go to the comments up above, and you will see this Ecamm Live 96F2. Click on that and get permission so we know who you are. So yes, we miss all of you guys, and I sit down to 16 seconds. 15 seconds, Justin. Any last words?
I think you nailed it.
You nailed it. The dot. Don't focus on the dot. Focus on everything else. 5, 4, Justin, thank you. 3, 2,